In Psalm 112, verse 7, it says, they will have no fear of bad news. Their hearts are steadfast, trusting in the Lord. As you hold steady in your star plank, remember that your faith in Jesus Christ is your unshakable foundation. Trusting in Him, you can face any challenge or bad news with courage and peace, knowing that He is your rock and refuge. May your heart be steadfast in His love and grace, just as your body is strong and stable in this exercise. I'm Roman Hunter. Welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the DNS Side Plank exercise. Now, DNS means dynamic neuromuscular stabilization, and this exercise is really important for training your body to stabilize during motion or to stabilize during movement. The starting position for this exercise is that you're in a side plank. You're going to position yourself as if you're doing a side plank with the shoulder above the elbow, and you want to make sure that you brace your core. So when I say brace your core, I mean make your core rigid, as if you're about to expect someone to punch in your stomach, as you're preparing your stomach to receive a punch from someone. You're bracing your core, right? You're tensing up, you're tightening your core, and that's what I mean by bracing your core. You can also use your fingers, find your belly button or your navel, move your fingers to the side, keep it anterior and to the side, right under the lower rib. Press your fingers into your stomach, right under the lower rib, and breathe out and push out against the fingers. So as you breathe out, push out against the fingers. As you breathe out and push out against the fingers, you should feel your fingers popping out and away from your rib cage, or popping out and away from your stomach. All right? It should be popping out. Fingers should be popping out. When that happens, that's what I mean by bracing your core. You're actually increasing the tension of your abdominal muscles. That helps in terms of pushing the fingers away and outward from your stomach. So brace your core, and the knees are bent. The heels of the feet are in line with your hips or in line with your butt. All right? So again, your shoulder is above the elbow. Your elbows are in line with your hips. Your shoulder in line with the hips, and your hips in line with your heels, right? The knees are in front, the hips are in line with your heels. So what will happen is you're going to start with a star plank position. As you start with a star plank position, you're going to lift the legs up. So it's similar to the side plank clamshell hip thrust exercise. Instead of keeping your feet together, you're going to separate the feet just like that. So as you come up, you're going to move the pelvis forward. You're going to shift the hips forward and and separate the feet. All right? So again, as you come up, as you lift the hips up towards the ceiling. As you lift the hips up towards the ceiling, shift the pelvis forward and separate the feet. Okay? So like that. Show you from this angle here. So this is the movement that you perform, like that, okay? That way. So you're shifting the pelvis forward like that. All right, so that is what you're going to be doing in this position. So that's just the basic, right? That's the first component. The second component is, as you lift up like this, you're going to lift up and reach forward. As you reach forward, you're going to extend the top leg. Allow the bottom hip to dip a little bit, but don't touch the mat with the bottom hip. Extend, and then back up, shift the pelvis forward. Again, you're going to move the pelvis back. You're going to shift the pelvis back as you reach forward. Shift the pelvis back as you reach forward. Allow the body to rotate so that the chest is almost parallel to the floor. With the top leg, you extend the top leg. So you extend the top leg and you extend the hip a little bit behind you, and come back up into this position, moving the pelvis forward, right? You're going to be feeling a burn in the bottom hip area in the gluteus medius. A really good exercise to develop the gluteus medius, endurance and the condition of the gluteus medius of the bottom hip as well as the top hip. You have that isometric contraction of the bottom hip of the gluteus medius, and you have that concentric contraction of the gluteus medius on the top hip. All right, so you're really going to feel a burn in both hips, and so that's normal. Again, I'm just going to put everything together for you. So you're going to up first, shift the pelvis forward, reach forward, lower the bottom hip, extend the top leg, and come back up. As you come back up like that, you move the pelvis forward again. Move the pelvis back. As you move the pelvis back to facilitate the rotation of your body, make sure that your trunk or your torso is parallel, almost parallel to the floor. Your chest is almost parallel to the floor. Don't touch the mat with your hand, and don't allow the bottom hip to rest on the mat, but you're lowering the bottom hip just a couple inches above the mat, and then come back up, driving the pelvis forward, and back to the star plank position. So what you're actually doing is training your body to stabilize during movement, keeping your core tight and nice and stable. I want to show you from top view. So this is it from the aerial view. Again, make sure when you're reaching forward, you rotate your trunk almost parallel to the floor, extend the top leg, drop the bottom hip just a couple of inches above the floor, and as you return back to the side plank position, drive the hips forward. Out and forward. As you lower your body, drive the hips back, extend the top leg, reach forward at an angle, and then back up again, driving the hips forward. Keep the bottom leg bent. This is DNS Star Plank exercise. It's a really wonderful exercise to add to exercise program. Remember to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Hunter. Blessings.